Welcome back to CES 2026. I'm Lawrence Ford here with World Academy of Art and Science, as well as Human Security for All and the United Nations Trust Fund and a Fortune Concert Capital, and my buddy Rohit.
First time ever.
Yes. All right, full disclosure, guys. You know about my book, The World Doesn't Need You. Two things. Number one is, this is my publisher.
Straight.
Absolutely amazing. And guess who named the book? Remember that?
What was it, me?
No, it was a group effort. Mr. Humility. So here's the real story. This is beautiful. So I got this is the first time this will ever be recorded. If the last, but stay tuned. So I was writing this book for probably a year and a half, can be 2 years, something like that. Lots of notes, research, studying. And when I really started pounding in about 6 months in, really manifest fabulous. A publisher from our buddy Yannick Silver. Shout out to Yannick. So I had this amazing, perfect, unbelievable title, didn't I? Do you remember?
Yeah, look, now you're testing my memory. What was the original?
It was that memorable. It's called, he's slightly embarrassing, so it's called Techniques Don't Get So Next.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I lay this out. I got a new publisher. All right, this guy's amazing. I lay it out. I'm like, here's the title, guys. And Roy goes, no.
I mean, you know, and you want advice for a reason, right?
Actually,
Otherwise, you could be sitting here. You'd be the woodpecker guy. You just want that.
I don't think my tongue's long.
Among other body parts. I meant the pecker thing. It's the. Oh wait, who's the audience for this? Cancel. Go back. And they'll fix this in post, right?
I can't hear you anymore. Right? What are we talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Where are we?
All right, well, back to CES.
Yes.
Which is so cool because, you know, when I wrote the book, it was really all about artificial intelligence, how that is going to scale us off a cliff or give us the opportunity to lose really great fractious species. Rabbit, look, you're right here, just the innovations.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you're literally in like place where the best of the best is. You're at innovation showcase right now. And what's really cool about it is you start to see some common elements among things and you start to roll around. And yeah, the enablement is
AI birdhouses, how many have seen? Everything. I've never seen so many birdhouses. So for the listeners, by the way, it's the birdhouse that's got a camera. When the bird flies in, the camera identifies the bird, what type, and delivers pictures.
Oh, it's even more extreme, man. I was talking to one of the birdhouse people. They're like, you can measure the health of the birds through the way the bird looks or the bird song itself. So now you could tell how healthy the bird is. That's flying into your mouth there.
Squirtles next.
Or out treating.
Translating the language.
Oh yeah. Now we can speak bird.
I cannot read for that.
Maybe we should have called the book woodpecker.
So I was going to say, we can check back in a woodpecker. See what the woodpecker has to say about it. Yeah. Not the woodpecker. That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. Hold on. So this is awesome. So listen, let's talk about you a bit. Obviously, you're a publisher. Not a very obvious publisher.
No, my brand,
which went up.
Yeah. I mean, I was a marketing guy for a long time, and so I got paid to come up with creative ways to persuade you. Smart. And as I was doing that sort of work, I realized that there's a thinking process behind it. And part of my thinking process was to try and see what no one else saw so that I could come up with ideas that no one else had seen either. And the way I started describing it just didn't
Kind of like good titles for words.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, right? And the way I would describe it is I'm trying to be non-obvious. And it's interesting that when I started using that as brand, the first things you do as a brand marketing guy is you say, well, is it that anyone else using it? Do I get the URL? Is it like trademarked? All of that stuff. And the only usage I found for non-obvious is that the official language from the U.S. Patent Office says in order for something to be worthy of a patent, it has to be non-obvious. So they use the word non-obvious in order for something to get patented. So I'm like, that's perfect, but there was no brand. So I created the brand, made the trademark, and I started to become the non-obvious guy. And my whole mission was to try and teach people how to think in this way so that we have broader bullet, less people would just do the same thing, follow the same path, blindly believe what they're told. People think for themselves. Like, that's my mission.
That's beautiful. And, with my work I do is talk about the indigenous wisdom, the age of wisdom, and they look around our world. Yes, yeah, literally, they just caught up into their blinders. And away, which is what I love about your marketing, because being up is really, truly about shifting consciousness. It's just a very plain word. But if you start drilling into that, it's about unlearning things, which creates numbers or reshaping consciousness.
Well, and it's about mindfulness too, right? It's this idea that come up with an idea, for example, and you think, have I heard this before? Like, has someone else said this? And if the answer is yes, go further. Try and come up with something else. And you're right, especially here, it is so surrounded by technology. When you keep that repetitive, you can go to think, I went to one of these booths and they had this AI-enabled, cute, robot-looking thing that reads books to kids. Why would you want to outsource that part for it? Like, he wants this, well, what is nice? Tell me what I'll think about when that's it.
Yeah.
I don't know. People want to have technology, built into their entire life.
It's true. But I think there's another side to it. Yeah, attention. And it reminds me of here at BitBoss down in South Beach, Miami, for our official book launch. I was interviewing women's basketball from Star and had a technology which would analyze your shots. Of course, you had to. So, by the way, do you interview Challenger?
That's bold, man. That's bold.
It was bold. The dress shoes. He was out. He wasn't one-on-one. He said,
I know she mentioned the dress shoes as the perfect out for why.
Thank you. My kid lose by 1 point. I don't think I'd win with dress shoes. Yeah, or maybe a little. So, the thing is cool about that, it's like, well, why would you work at? I mean, I get it. The real application was for a lot of yours kids, right? They can't afford to rent access to hostess. Yeah, helps them be best culture, can't lie, style, their grudge, what their is. And that's the pattern. Yeah. So maybe, kids have been that first.
I mean, that would be great if that's what we'd see. Party dough.
Yeah. I'm always the office.
No. That's why you're the author of this book, right? I'm good at that. Yeah, I am good at that. Because we are going to do this dual thing, right? And so we're going to talk about how we got to do this double thing. Yeah, we got to do this double thing. So,
because it's all the same thing. Yeah, it's just about inspiring people to be themselves on the wider here on this earth. And as you said, if you have an idea, I loved how you said that, is to have an idea, but somebody else is using it. These were your words. We keep taping, right?
Yeah, there's usually a deeper insight, something else that aren't, or you do what you literally just did, which is I said, what this, and you framed an idea in your head for a scenario in the world where this thing that my gut reaction first is unnecessary could actually be this, and occurred, because that's a dictator too. That's listening and saying, well, wait a minute, what is the situation where this could be?
That is perfect, because when I look at so many layers for, let's just keep it through the business view. I look at you want to, there's the best saying, the best of saying, the racetrack is the business plan, and the horse the market, and the horse is the business payer. The smart investors manage eyes. And so when I see a technology right now, does this best to third year, I want to both fan. This is what we do. We talk about for a foundation. Yeah, so why are you here? Sir, right then, if analyze of what you're doing. So a lot of real reasons why that was staying out. And so in that scenario, I would talk to CEO. And if I got, because we think it's a great idea or blah, 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 versus, well, there's X amount, and it's with kids, and his parents are illiterate, they're not available, well, that's our like intention. So it's about it. We're just passionate at the us.
Yeah, I mean, I love to see that when it comes to including it through launches, where there's so much focus on the plot, so like, but the thing that goes inside the box and how it's beat is really shows. Big fool here about is there's all this stuff about the smart flasks that's a bit dated. They are but this right, but imagine the same technology of the glass self-driving cars to monitor the space, put into balsams like would be worn by submarine flights, so that they can navigate into space. And the use case for that isn't let's say Google. It's allowing people have vision care and for full fab see apps to replicate the functionality golf in Lusks. If it's actually interesting, it's actually, yeah.
I looked at some of those technologies that's called haptics or whatever they are, sound is. So there's certain sounds that various vibrations at different levels. I can imagine that it's quite a easy to got a really good friend of mine. Say, she caught the by duties fish ways. Nice are. And she's just a rock star. And she is sighted clairvoyant. But she does so much. Yeah, she's so booked. She's like, I don't have a disability. When I first met her up here at Calvary, the sincere, what do you do? You're riding like, this is like unstoppable for you get. That's amazing because she's so poor, but imagine what she could do. Yeah, it's up that. Wow. So there's so many great technologies up there. Tell me what's up here. Well, beer. What's hot? What's this year? What do we watch out for?
Yeah, what's next steps? What do we watch out? Yeah, what do we watch out?
I know one thing you watch out for is more of this because we go hit the road and
that's right. Prove the boat. We're gonna be doing a lot of topics.
We got some Southwest stuff. That's right. It actually came in again. It's live, unscripted. Yeah, all gonna talk about.
Yeah,
let's get up before I got on. Yeah.
Oh, right. I mean, that's a great event. Up that CES too. I mean, I think that there's other big trade pool when I pay attention. That's one of the things about try not looking through what's coming down. So we follow lists. That's why we love what we do, right? So we get to anticipate the future based on what's already happening right now. And I think one of the things that's really exciting for me is this return to technology after finding the real life experience as opposed to place. So there was a trend to a little foot. And I think now it's much more about like how do we phase person types of experiences. That's what cool. It's a tie part. So there was money. Everybody knows follow the money. I got split. It's already dating around. And so I'm looking to see the or investment, time, action, and experimentation in that space over the next year. And I think that's really exciting, not just for us, but with the industries that I worked in, but say cake and machine, or function, that's right. Was that corrupt? Yeah. Well, I mean, people have predicted the demise of voice for a long, long time. Yet, you go in and they say it's generation. You go to a 5-year-old who you say, you want to read this book on screen or you're going to hold the book. The 5-year-old says, like the book. So you tell me that is it generationally books that? I love us. Newspapers, that's like, newspapers are rest. Yeah, that's a different list. Yeah. Saw somebody on a train in a newspaper. Listen, I read the physical. I get the New York Times physically delivered to my house. Yeah, on Sunday 0. I mean, I like it, like that experience. But I'm old, so yeah. Let's talk about really what an augmentation to AI, and from my point of view, why that's so important. Yes. Now, as you know, we talked about the world was the nature of the flood. There is this mass particle first, you see, right? Or disruption. And it is either layoffs, straight layoffs, or mandatory to change jobs at a case that is just unimaginable. We're trying to, which is why a lot of people are in denial of it. Look, I could be wrong. I've been many wrong days. That's my life, but one of my blessings, like it's around single smokes, horrible. It's always technology. Yeah, that was pretty much it. That would be, really one up. Yeah, it's kind of like where I think a lot of people are in denial. These two are getting manager. When you have artificial intelligence exponentially above it, doubling every 2 years. Yeah, I mean, there is a lot of fear veers into the discussion about AI. So I think like this right here, actually with book, so it's hearing because what you touch on is this next this point, right? And you built this perspective. I'm curious to you pulls in these conversations you've held during a lot of these rules that these are high buttons. Is how is the motion? Sometimes with either for literally shaping that world for the future, right?
It's generally today.
Right. So when you look at all the thought, what gives you a sense of optimism or for the future that you can relate to be that you have in this post?
Well, look, it's not a hard conversation. All you have to do is say, ask somebody, what do you think that's out to you? So get this stuff out. Give me
Things they did do time didn't spend with someone.
That's it. So those are the two right there wrapped up. One is I wish I had spent to their thinking friends. The other one is some form I wish I had courage that produced to do. Well, I wanted to do versus what I was told. Yeah. So we know what the answer is, right? Problem is that we get on our behalf of sweeple. And we know some of that is realistic. You've got to take care of your family. You got to do the bachelor for, self-sustaining or life. And I'm not minimizing it. It's a serious thing. I don't know, about for something like 50 to 60% of population of the United States today is like education. And so that's not something I'm dismissing in the book. What I'm saying is the gift was coming, is that knowledge, power, is dead. Not dying, is dead. Right now, we have benchmarks. We try to measure or think about what speed of the eye, like what the hell it's really doing. So what do you think about like rating agencies, like your stuff, they're doing official benchmarks now. They just want to keep on that spot. Set them proven cognitive layer, couldn't reason now. Job replacements. For AI can now do this role of Bennett and set the 90%. But yeah. So there's going to be a lot fewer friction and tile and it's coming. What's coming is your jobs are going to cost more change radical, which then puts you back here to humanity, to a hall who's easy to say, what, here's shit. Well, I just lost their equals a lot. Well, I'm out. Then we can have a choice of having no perspective, no guidance, no vision. That brings us into a deep best actor ISIS contributes to make. Or it can bring us some comments saying, wow, now it's just that for each break be about with my life. That the beautiful thing about artificial intelligence is they can augment which be a deeper into a lower and artificial intelligence can augment all that other shit is not the game.
Is that the bad romances or where you think about Ken wrote this folks out there talking about this slightly contentious idea of like, the world needs you or it doesn't need you. What is that your message then? I don't But I mean, it came from your words. It's not like I made it up. I mean, that was your words. So I just put it on the cover, right? But this idea, like, what do you believe that?
So to your point, world leaders, soap glass magazines, sweaty towels, that's for G. Forget doing. Man, I think that's surprising. That's what I would say about even though we built this. I'd sort of like that's conversation. So not anything. We need it. I'm like Hope 6, that's like cool this process. How we should retool ass purpose. So it's inspiring. It's there. I don't know. That's why we yes. Stuff so starting this moment right now. You're like, putting these message out with things that's sort of 10 out of in this bit. Right, in terms of like sharing specific, it's like how does that? What's that? So mostly what I enjoy all day, like your foundations, tell stories. People are living their purpose, so we can demonstrate that inspiration. That's what Clutch Staff on our nation is all about. So we just inspire by telling stories.
I would say, based on my career, I've been in older and now the show. Everything in my career has been about results. It's and I would say that's the only thing choose your conversations. Well, you don't have that. And this is my great fear People being innovation, he's be capable telling the story in a way that gets the right evening. So justice. So there could be somebody cynic or cancer. There'll be somebody sitting on unlimited desensitization proper, but they just aren't able to tell the stories the way they're allows them to get this busy. So by extension, I think we use skill sets for any human features to just be ability to distance.
It's really rude. And get the spotted augmentation technologies and units to be able to help them. That's true. Yeah. Story where you adult. So you wrote was book. Sees warning sounds very narcissistic, but it's a great. It is, and the reason it's great book goes because number one is a birthday is pure suiting. Number two, we saw work versus meetings change. There is. And number three, really, it's TT. Love that story of Megan. What's your last name? Bang, Curry? Wheeler. Maggie Wheeler, fake crap. She's awesome. Congratulations, just keep bearing. She did. You're in the woods.
No, it might be
Yeah. Copy.
yes.
That's she named my man. You did just. Yeah, she did.
Sorry, there's two bangers.
Yeah, there's two. The other man. Not the one that didn't.
We do know the team. It's just they have the same name, so that's not eyeball down.
So she is storing with this plot. True story. Because I'm told her the little team, your dad, I want to write a great book. I want to write a great book. The reason is because what's secret? Yeah, it needs to be told. End of story. That's it. It's so important.
Well, and I think that not to free tactical GDP into the beats, but when you say you work class up, you work like 38 person to already get this exact guitar. And that's not so much the way it teacher it really shows up. So when you do start reading work, you just start doing it's not your stupid AI technology. When I say that, I mean there are quite a lot. It's a hot topic you're publishing right now. There's a lot of books out, but this one does have a very distinct twist, and I think that shows our. And I think that's why you've got such great reviews, even though it's all you get out for a certain amount of time. The reviews have been amazing because everybody reads the Go books. It's one thing for someone that just picks up a book or wants all, but like the people who are not sticking review balls, you see every sort of book percent. This is more than what most books of this, but that's unusual.
It's pretty cool here. What a literary 1% people that read his book, but you see all express %. That's just insecurity. So I just realized that is part of that first rock that you're reading.
They're the most likely to be crit, and they don't have any. They don't have any benefit of blowing smoke, and they don't. Yeah, we see things where they don't. They're not that kind, right?
Well, let's rewind. It was the story. Yeah. So that night, she actually, I was done with book. I sat down and my deadline is the script on the starts.
And that is more common than you would think, so you should feel a little better about that. Where an author's like, I'm done, and then they send it off, and then the whole team comes back, and they're like, actually,
it's space now. I get flashbacks on the Zoom screen about it's like, you thought you were done. I actually had some friends down, one of my buddies from the UN. Oh, well. He came down with his buddy Gerard. We had a free time with a boaty, played some golf, and like camping in. High fivers, 7 minutes for 10. Shoot back a couple of days later, 14-page cover letter, circles and arrows on every single page. And I have a take off for X.
Yeah. Listen, if you could write a manuscript, publish it, and that's self-published, bring it to the 50 thing you do. It shows up. Anyways, this is scale.
And you both. It's a perfect demonstration of, as you basically said, you said, look, you said you wanted a great book. This is a good book. You want a great book? You need to do, but I said, we would get go. But she said, take out a flag piece. Full big states.
Yeah, people do. I want to just relay how difficult that is. Right? Imagine you have been training, and then you decide to run a 10K race, and you get to the 10th kilometer, and you're about to finish the race, and then someone at the finish is like, "Oh, by the way, you got to run 5 more."
I missed it.
Yeah, or whatever, right? Because emotionally, you're kind of done. And mentally, you're sort of done. And then something comes in and goes, "By the way, you're not done." I mean, that was really difficult. So, get that gave you.
So I really did. I had seen it. It's 4 days. And then I just said, you know what? So what is to your fur? Yeah, those are my itch nowadays. That's my younger daughter, Sage. Probably a few weeks ago. Just like a friend me, like I said, "Hey, honey, what was it like living with Taff?" Right through that period of time. She hooks me so practically. It's so cute. She goes, "She's been here."
Yeah. I thought you were traveling.
I was in the house. Like, it just been here.
Yeah, my kids know that too.
So I really appreciate you with work. You have a choice. It's in care for judgment if you are writing a book who's not a great publishing. These guys were amazing, namely because they're doing it with this thing.
Yeah, I mean, we take on, definitely that's the thing, we take on so few books because we all help these. Because it's easy to get the whole story all stuff. We love the album, love the books, love the topics, like you jump things. It's just a matter of time. You was hitting it there.
Yeah, it's just, you guys had faith. Throwing woodpeckers don't get sore next to a lined piece of paper.
Yeah, right. So then this, which you can hold in your hand, which is great. Yeah, that's right. Hold in our hands. It's a issues.
And so listen, be remiss if I didn't do this. How do people get in touch?
Yeah, it's super easy. I am a non-obvious guy, so nonobvious.com with no dashes or any is the easiest way to get all the access to content or weekly newsletter, which is fascinating ideas, podcast, everything like that, all that are there. For a good idea for us is the publishing company, and he is not our only amazing author, so check out the rest of the others to that are following this.
Rohit?
Nice.